Good evening. I'm Vicki George.
And I'm Rick Van Hoos. Thank you so much for joining us for our annual Wednesday's Child Adopt-a-thon.
COVID-19 has changed so much of the way we do things this year, and the Adopt-a-thon is no exception. We normally have guests in our studio, but because of social distancing rules, our guest segments have been pre-recorded.
We also can't have our usual live phone bank with some of our favorite local celebrity guests, but don't worry, you'll hear from them tonight as well.
And even though you can't call in your pledge to help Wednesday's Child this year, there are many other ways to donate. You can do so online at wednesdayschild.com or text ADOPT-KY to 44321 to donate via text. You can also mail a check to Wednesday's Child, P.O. Box 39, Louisville, Kentucky 40201.
And new this year, Wednesday's Child has a unique QR code that you can use to donate. You can see it right now on your screen. Just pause your TV and use your mobile device to scan it. We will also show this a couple more times tonight for you.
Wednesday's Child spokesperson and board member Christina Mora is also with us again tonight, sharing stories of local foster children.
Hi everyone, and welcome to our Adopt-a-thon. We always love to give good news when it comes to kids in the child welfare system. We first introduced you to Tyler last year during one of our Wednesday's Child segments. He was 13 at the time, and he had some unique needs that required a very special adoptive family. We are thrilled to tell you tonight, Tyler has found his forever family. Take a look.
I like that.
This is where we first met Tyler. He was 13 at the time, living at Home of the Innocents in Louisville. And while he was clearly surrounded by love, his workers said a family environment would allow him to flourish.
He also needs a place where he's going to be accepted for who he is. That sometimes he has behaviors that we don't understand. But that's just part of him. It's him not being able to express himself verbally, and that behavior has meaning. Somewhere where he could safely explore. He loves to walk, loves to roam. He's very curious. He loves to get into new things.
A few months after our story first aired, one very special family fell in love with Tyler.
I instantly knew that he was our child. I knew instantly. Just the look that he would give us. You know, when we came in, when we would get there to see him, he would just light up. And I was told after a few visits that he would actually cry. He had cried a few times when we left. We just kept going, visiting weekly, getting all the training in, and brought him home, and we've never looked back. That's just something that's been in my heart for a very long time.
Lisa Cook is Tyler's new mom. She brought him home in March. She says the now 14-year-old is doing great, and her family is lucky to have him.
I strongly urge anyone that, if they have it in their heart, the least bit, although it's scary and, you think of all the things that could go wrong, but to definitely think of all the things that could go right.
Yeah.
And that's getting that unconditional love. Tyler looks at us and it's so, we just know that he gets it.
Now, as a foster parent, you can take additional training to be considered a medically complex home. Right now, because COVID-19, most of that training is online. This gives you the ability to take care of children like Tyler who have special needs or very specific medical needs. You learn things like how to take care of a feeding tube, how to administer specific medications, or how to facilitate special breathing tools. Experts tell me being in a family environment is always better than living in a residential facility, even for children like Tyler. So we want to congratulate Tyler's new forever family.
Liz Everman's work with Wednesday's Child over the past 40 years has helped thousands of children.
But even though Liz could not be here in person tonight, she's still doing her part to help with the cause.
Hi, everybody. I hope you're doing well during these uncertain times. It's hard to believe it's been 40 years since we started Wednesday's Child. We knew the need was great, with hundreds of children languishing in the state's foster care system. Now that need is even greater, with thousands of children waiting for a place to call home. We're asking you to join our effort to reach folks who will open their hearts and homes to a child as an adoptive parent, or maybe willing to foster a child. Your donation makes a lasting impact, providing services like the STEM program to help develop critical thinking skills, to help guide them on a career path. And that special Christmas gift you help with means more than you know. A young woman, now the mother of 3, still cherishes a doll she got at 12. Her daughter sleeps with it every night. Wednesday's Child helps young people who leave foster care without a family, helping with things like laptops for school, bus passes, and even emergency hotel stays. Because let's face it, if they aren't adopted, many become homeless. Right now, 60% of young adults 18 to 24 who are on the streets in Louisville have a foster care history. So your gift won't just help change lives, it may help save them. Thanks for your help. Stay safe, and God bless.
COVID-19 has certainly made an impact on the child welfare system and all of the kids in foster care right now. Kentucky Youth Advocates conducted a survey called A Public Health Crisis Meets a Vulnerable System. Here's what they found. Children in care are having trouble with remote learning, mental and behavioral health challenges, and barriers to basic needs like safety. They're having trouble navigating confusing systems like the courts right now, and visitations with social workers or biological family members have also been impacted. I spoke to the commissioner of the Department of Community-Based Services to help us understand how these concerns are being addressed.
Well, COVID presented a challenge to all of us, as you know, and a bigger challenge for those children and families who are dealing with trauma and dealing with displacement and separation from biological homes and kind of adjusting to a new home and a new environment, a new set of rules. We cannot underestimate the challenge that foster children, adoptive children, and foster parents and adoptive parents and kinship folks face on a regular basis, never mind during this unforeseen and unprecedented challenge of a pandemic. So on the good news side, the cabinet really shifted within less than 2 weeks to virtual. We never thought we could do that. We were told we couldn't do it. It wasn't possible. People weren't going to work. It has been the silver lining in COVID. More foster families are attending trainings than ever before. Home visits are being made virtually. So now the biological families can see the foster parents, where the kid's bedroom is and how they're eating and who else is there. So there's just more of an intimacy as opposed to going to a separate place, for them to visit. They're visiting virtually, so they have access to seeing each other in the home environment. That's been shown as positive. I think the challenge has been, how do you keep those connections, those human connections going virtually? Both our staff with the families and kiddos they work with, and those families and kiddos with kinship family, biological families, all of the healthcare providers that kind of wrap around them to be able to support that transition and that stabilization. So what we have done is basically everything that could be done virtually has been done virtually. Telehealth, as well as home visits, as well as counseling, etc. Except if a family is in crisis or a child is at risk. Right. If they meet that risk of neglect or abuse or crisis, then that's happening face to face. And what we have done is meet in backyards and in parks and in front porches, giving the staff all the safety requirements. Lots of our nonprofit partners have donated masks and shields for the kids and for the staff.
And thank you to the commissioner for that interview. I will add, Kentucky Youth Advocate says our young people need more connections and more emotional and tangible support as they navigate the pandemic. If you're interested in helping in any way, including becoming a foster parent, you can always find information on WednesdaysChild.com.
COSAIR Charities' mission is to protect the health and well-being of children in Kentucky and southern Indiana by providing financial support for social services, research, pediatric health care, education, and child advocacy.
And that includes helping the Wednesday's Child organization. Tonight, we share this message from them.
Hi, my name is Lindsay Ware with COSAIR Charities. Since 1923, COSAIR Charities has worked towards one thing: helping kids overcome their obstacles so they can reach their full potential. We do that through our Gifts and Grants program, supporting nearly 200 organizations statewide, as well as through our COSAIR Kids Financial Assistance Program. Today, I am so honored to share COSAIR Charities' commitment of $2,500 to Wednesday's Child's Adopt-a-thon. Wednesday's Child facilitates the recruitment of foster and adoptive parents for kids in Kentucky and supports youth waiting to be adopted. This is such a critical mission, which perfectly aligns with COSAIR Charities, and we are so grateful to be a 2020 sponsor.
The average age of a child in Kentucky foster care is 10 years old. And the older they get, the harder they are to find a home, either temporarily or a forever home. Tonight we meet 17-year-old David. His workers say he wants desperately to find a family before he ages out of the system.
What is it like growing up the way you have? You've grown up in foster care. Has that been hard?
Sometimes yes, sometimes no. You just have to look for the future. Sometimes you can forget the past, sometimes you can't.
What do you miss about not being in a family?
Mom.
What else? What do you miss?
Dad, sister, and a brother.
The statistics do not show a pretty picture when it comes to what happens to someone who ages out. Can you elaborate a little bit on when these kids turn 18, what happens?
A lot of the time, I mean, our kiddos have the choice to recommit, which means that they stay with the state and stay in either a foster placement or whatever type of placement that is needed for them. However, so many of our teenagers are like, listen, I've been in care for 8, 10, 12 years, I don't want somebody over me. So they choose not to recommit. And unfortunately, we provide them as much help as we can, but if they don't choose to recommit, then there's really not a whole lot of services out there. They end up homeless, they end up incarcerated.
Is there anything that helps you get through it? Like if you're having a hard time ever?
Yes. Singing to myself and thinking about the stuff that can be all possible.
What would you say to a potential family out there? Like what would you say to them?
Just please don't give up on me.
David tells me he likes to sing, fish, and hunt. He says he'd rather live in the country than the city. Now, statistics around this vary state by state, but when a child ages out of the foster care system, the chances of them experiencing homelessness at some point in the next few years is up to 50%. And despite free tuition options, many will not go to college. It's for these reasons and many others the state wants to find children forever homes.
We couldn't have done the Adopt-a-thon over the years without the help of friends like Coach Denny Crum and his wife, Susan.
And even though they could not be here in person, they definitely wanted to be part of this year's Adopt-a-thon.
Hi, Wednesday's Child friends and supporters. Susan and Denny Crum here, and we are so sorry we are not actually in the studio answering phone calls as usual this year. But obviously with COVID regulations, we have to make some changes, so we're happy to share this video.
Yeah, we have to keep Wednesday's Child going. There are over 10,000 children.
They're in the system right now. Any donation you make will help support their basic needs. There's a website you can see on the screen, the phone number you can call. We hope you'll take just a few minutes to make that donation, help support the kids. And we definitely hope we're back next year and plan on being back next year in the studio answering your calls in person. But in the meantime, happy holidays and thanks again so much for supporting Wednesday's Child.
So now we are here with Kelly from Aetna, who of course is a big supporter of Wednesday's Child. We want to thank you first of all for always supporting Wednesday's Child. Talk to us, this year is a little bit different because there's a big program coming up for children who are in care, and Aetna kind of became the one who's in charge of that.
Yeah, so Aetna Better Health of Kentucky is really fortunate to have this long-standing relationship with Wednesday's Child, and we're so excited to partner with you all and provide resource for this population. Aetna was selected by the Department for Medicaid Services to manage Medicaid benefits for the new program called Supporting Kentucky Youth, otherwise known as Kentucky Sky. And what that really means is that youth that are placed in out-of-home care, including former foster youth up to the age of 26, also youth that are placed in fictive kin, youth that are placed in the Department for Juvenile Justice, they're going to have their Medicaid benefits provided through Aetna Better Health of Kentucky come January 1.
And it is nice to know that children who are in foster care, for people at home who may not know, they have all of their health care costs covered. Everything that they need in terms of their health is taken care of. And so it's nice to know that now it'll all be under one umbrella, so to speak. So we want to thank you all so much. I know you have a check here with you, so we can bring in the big check. It's $5,000 from Aetna, of course. Thank you guys so much for your support over the years, this year especially. This year has not been easy for a lot of people. You know, we're in COVID-19, so thank you so much. And we also want to thank everyone at home who supports us as well.
One of the things your donations to Wednesday Child pays for is their annual Christmas party.
But because of the pandemic, there won't be a big party like in years past. However, there are still nearly 400 kids that will be getting Christmas presents this year because of funds donated to Wednesday's Child. In fact, those presents were delivered to state offices late last month, and the money you donate tonight could be used to pay for a party and buy more kids gifts next Christmas.
Reminder, there are several ways to donate this year. You can do so online at Wednesday'sChild.com or text ADOPT-KY to 44321 to donate via text. You can also mail a check to Wednesday's Child, P.O. Box 39, Louisville, Kentucky, 40201. And new this year, Wednesday's Child has a unique QR code you can use to donate. You can see it right now on your screen. Just use your mobile device to scan it.
Louisville's own Lincoln Bridge has been a big part of the Adopt-a-thon over the past several years, bringing with them some Christmas cheer through song.
And this year is no different.
Hey, we're Lincoln Bridge. Sorry we couldn't be there in person because we would really love to be, but unfortunately we can't. So we're sending our love to Wednesday's Child, and we're sending our love to all those kids out there waiting to be adopted. Lincoln Bridge has a special connection with you all, and we want to share our love this way, vocally, like we normally do. Hey, y'all ready?
Happy holidays, everyone.
Happy holidays.
You know there's Dasher and Dancer and Prancer and Vixen, Comet and Cupid, Donner and Blitzen. But do you recall the most famous reindeer of all? Whoa, Rudolph the red-nosed reindeer had a very shiny nose, and if you ever saw it, you would even say it glows. Yeah. All of the other reindeer used to laugh and call him names. Rudolph, join him in reindeer game. Oh yeah. Then one foggy Christmas Eve, Santa came to say, hey Rudolph, come on, guide my sleigh tonight. And all the reindeer loved him as they shouted out with glee. Hey Rudolph, you'll go down in history. Oh yeah,
holidays. Lincoln Bridge, baby. Thank you.
MSD provides Louisville with water while maintaining the city's sewers and flood protection systems, but they also give back to the community in other ways. A longtime supporter of Wednesday's Child, MSD has this message to share.
Hi, I am Tony Parrott, Executive Director of the Louisville and Jefferson County Metropolitan Sewer District. I am proud of the passion and unwavering support that MSD employees have for the mission of Wednesday's Child. Our MSD Cares annual giving campaign proves just that, as our employees are consistently among the largest supporters of this worthy cause to find supportive homes and mentors for children in the state's care. Every child does indeed deserve a forever family.
Hello, my name is Sandra Gibson, and I'm the chair of MSD's annual giving campaign. In spite of the unprecedented challenges that many organizations are facing due to COVID-19, MSD's support for Wednesday's Child continues. Our relationship with Wednesday's Child began many years ago with a few employees who were adoptive parents seeking a way to raise awareness about adoptions. This resulted in MSD authorizing payroll deductions for employees to donate in the amount of their choice. In addition to payroll deductions, MSD holds annual campaigns where employees can learn more about Wednesday's Child through meetings, video messages, and activities. This year, we launched our very first ever virtual campaign that we hope will bring the same continued success that we have experienced in past years. We can proudly say that what began in 1997 with a donation of $9,087 led to more than $295,000 to date for Wednesday's Child. These funds help support the mission and efforts of Wednesday's Child and give all adoptive children hope for a forever family.
Karen and Gary Lawrence spearhead many efforts to give back to their hometown, and of course they're also known as Jennifer's mom and dad.
And they are regulars on the Adopt-A-Thon phone bank. They are disappointed they couldn't do it again this year, but Karen wanted to share this message.
Hello, Wednesday's Child. This is Karen Lawrence, and I'm sorry that we can't get together this year like we have in the past to man the phones and answer your calls as you call in to pledge. But it doesn't mean that it's not just as important that we give generously and remember the Wednesday's Child. So next year, hopefully we'll get together and you can call in, but please don't forget about them this year. Be safe, be healthy, and God bless.
We have Steve and Sarah Arnold with us from Knights of Columbus. Knights of Columbus has always been one of our rock solid supporters, and we want to thank you guys so much for always thinking about the kids who are impacted through Wednesday's Child. First, tell us, why, I know you've been part of this for 10 years. Right. The ride, which we'll talk about in a second, has been 18 years. Why is it so important that you all support Wednesday's Child?
Well, Brother Clyde Hayes, he started the ride 18 years ago, and unfortunately he passed away a few years ago, and we want to keep his legacy going for him because he fell in love with the kids. When Liz Everman started the program, he got with Liz and they started the motorcycle run, and he wanted to make sure that the kids got what they wanted for Christmas rather than just generic toys. Right. So we still try to do that, and he worked very hard for many years trying to do that, and he was pretty good at his job. But yeah, we love the kids. It's just once you get involved with these kids, it's just amazing. They just take your heart, and it's just a great, wonderful thing that you do for these kids.
Well, you alluded to it, this ride. So you didn't get to do the motorcycle ride. And for those at home, Knights of Columbus usually does a fun motorcycle ride, which raises a big bulk of the money that you all donate to us. And you didn't get to do it this year. Obviously, COVID-19 has impacted us in a big way, but you still raised the money. So how did this happen?
It was really tough this year. So we still, through donations, we sent out letters to all the bikers and the companies and our sponsors, and they really come through this year.
Well, this is our favorite part. Sarah, do you want to show us the check?
Well, okay.
Oh my gosh,
well,
so we did it?
See, we did it. We didn't think we could do it, but we did. We raised $6,030.
Amazing.
And I mean, it surprised everyone.
Yeah.
Because some of the guys, the Knights of Columbus, put $100 out, challenged all the other Knights to donate $100, and it just snowballed after that, and I was just tickled to death with the results.
We are as well, and we want to thank you all so much. This money impacts these kids in such a great way and helps us do so many things, so thank you guys so much.
Well, thank you. We appreciate it. It's our pleasure. Thank you.
We want to give thanks for all of our sponsors who joined us tonight.
We also want to give a shout out and a huge thanks to a couple of other sponsors. Anthem Medicaid, which provides health care support for people across Kentucky, and the Alan Schubert Foundation. The generosity of these organizations will help so many children. Spalding University Athletic Director Roger Berkman is always a lively addition to our Adopt-a-thon.
And even though the former U of L star couldn't be here in person tonight, like he has in years past, Vicki, he still wanted to put forth a challenge.
Hi, I'm Roger Berkman. While the pandemic has our routines altered, the work of Wednesday's Child must go on. There's roughly 10,000 children in Kentucky who are in need of your support. No amount is too small, and any donation will be greatly appreciated. And it's easy to do. Just go online at wednesdayschild.com and donate. Your kind gift will help provide some of the most basic needs while in foster care, like some school supplies, coats and jackets, or maybe a pair of shoes. Every year, I like to present a pledge challenge between our U of L friends and fans and our UK friends and fans. I know you're listening, I know you're out there, so let's do this together for the kids. Please go online right now at wednesdayschild.com and tap the green button that says Donate Now. Then share your mailing address with Wednesday's Child so they can acknowledge your donation from either the U of L or UK family. Because in the end, we're all just one big family trying to help these kids. Thank you, and God bless.
And a final reminder, there are several ways you can donate to Wednesday's Child right now and throughout the year.
You can do so online at wednesdayschild.com or text ADOPT-KY to 44321 to donate via text. You can also mail a check to Wednesday's Child, P.O. Box 39, Louisville, Kentucky, 40201.
And Wednesday's Child has a unique QR code you can use to donate. You can see it right now on your screen. Just use your mobile device to scan it. We want to thank you for giving us some of your precious time tonight to learn about a worthwhile cause near and dear to us here at WLKY.
Your donations this year and every year make a real difference in the lives of thousands of foster children in Kentucky. For Christina Mora, I'm Rick Van Hoos.
And I'm Vicki Dorch. Happy holidays.